Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment you made?
I got some bars to these.
Run Ryan.
Right.
And here's the thing, you have players out there.
I think the fellas are taking more serious.
No way. What grade?
That one at the go.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
For once, Reem has me hosting when we actually win a game. And I like it. Every single time Reem asks me to host is on the back of some loss, or we draw again and we play foolish. Anyway, it was a great weekend, guys. It was a great
yeah.
It all started on it was Saturday. Yes, a Saturday morning. 94th minute, a last minute winner from Mr. Good Evening Unai Emery. Arsenal beating the ground. Anyway, I thought it couldn't get any better. But then a bunch of comments from Mo Salah about the state of Liverpool, inviting his parents to come and see him play. Not on the field, but on the bench. He was upset at that. And then the icing on the cake is what we all came here to talk about. Everybody thought we were going to give Wolves their first win. Because Wolves has a bunch of L after L after L after L. And lo and behold, it just had to be Manchester United that gave Wolves their first win. And nope. Everybody and the grandmother pressing backspace. That's what all the rival fans learn, pressing backspace. And that is what we're here to talk about. And I can never, ever do it by myself. We're joined by Nico, Simeon, and Chef. How are you guys doing on this Monday night?
Good. That's confirming you all hearing me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Your voice sounds different though.
Yeah, I'm in your country at the moment, so I guess that's why my voice may be a bit slurred.
You're in my country.
So it might be a bit slurred at some point, but I guess you'll understand why. You know, the good monk gay, the banks are good. Well,
all right, correct.
Well, So if you find a song slurred, I guess that is why.
Well, that's great to hear, my guy. Hope
Nice.
enjoy yourself. Once again, big at the panel because we're here to talk about Wolves 1, Manchester United 4. Now, before we enter into today's game, let me talk about something Manchester United related where Ruben Amorim was pressured with a bunch of questions regarding a certain player by the name of Kobbie Mainoo, right? And we all saw the situation where Kobbie Mainoo barely got any minutes versus who did we play before? It was West Ham, yeah. He barely got any minutes, or he didn't even play at all. I can't even remember. I was just so upset at that, right? The whole situation with Kobbie Mainoo, I gotta ask you guys before we go into the Wolves game today. If you were Kobbie Mainoo, what are you doing? And take into consideration a comment that was made by Diego Dallo, where Diego Dallo was asked, who do you see in the current squad that could be the future captain of Manchester United? And Diego Dallo said, Kobbie Mainoo. What do you guys think? If you're Kobbie Mainoo, what are you thinking? What's in your mind right now? I'll start with Nico, man. I haven't heard you in a while, man. Good night, Nico.
Yeah, good night. If I'm Kobbie Mainoo, definitely I won't be happy. However, being under contract, it makes it a bit difficult, right? To me, definitely. As much as I would want playing time, knowing that the World Cup is so close around the corner, having played in the Euro Cup final for England, where now we're not even getting not even on the periphery of the squad. it would be frustrating, but it only makes sense to me that he stays until the summer, because I definitely think that our squad needs some work in the summer, especially in the midfield department. And I don't think Casemiro will be there. There could Bruno Fernandez even. There's a customer who have Bruno Fernandez being there. And I think that might be the
I don't think
window.
Ugarte will be there either.
I don't think Ugarte will be there. So I think that will be his window, to play for Manchester United. If he has that patience. If it's me that as much as frustrated as I am, I think I'd have wait out until the summer.
Simeon, what are you thinking? You're Kobe Manu. The World Cup is around the corner. But then also, as Nico alluded to, our midfield could be totally different come 2026, 2027 season. What are you thinking?
It was easy for me to think that he should go at least try and get a loan to play somewhere. But the more and more I think, rationally, especially and not knowing his love for the club, you know, I think it is a possibility he stays. But just because we might have more games coming up next year with the FA Cup and stuff going on. Might have more games, but given what I've seen from Kobe Minu and the comments by Amarim, I think it's all about what he's getting from the coach. I think he should leave. I mean, I think the way that the amount of time he's getting on the pitch, for the kind of the level of player he isn't. I don't think you can just justify that. I think the thing is Bruno. I was gonna argue for him to stay, but if the coach say as long as Bruno there, you can't play, you might as well get a loan or get something to play, for the rest of the season, because if Bruno in your spot, you don't get any playing time. I don't forget how good Kobe is. I had to watch, clips to remember how, the kind of thing this man was doing. So I think the language of the coach, letting me know that it's probably better if Kobe, goes somewhere else and try and get some game time. You gotta leave, permanently, but go on loan somewhere, because this coach, if the midfield could look that bad and he's not playing you, I don't see, any point of being here the rest of the season.
Fair enough. Chef, you are a supporter of the Three Lions, the English national team. And take that into your answer, where you're Kobe Manu. Is it too late for Kobe Manu to make the England national squad if he had to go on loan?
I think by now it's too late to make the national team for the World Cup. But being a Kobe Mino fan and watching it from his point of view also, I would still take a loan for the rest of the season. Go to a team that I don't want to say walk in, but you know you're going to get playing time and develop your career. And when summertime comes, you take a look at where you are and where you want to be, and then make a decision. But if I was Kobe, I was not staying at Manchester after January.
Yeah, I think most of us share the same sentiment, and you can see the frustration on his face, but also the praise that he got when he got subbed on in this Wolves game today. Like when Kobe Manu was raised, it's almost like the entire stadium felt his pain and started clapping. Right, so kudos on Kobe for being professional and not doing like a Mo Salah. Right. So anyway, let's get into today's fixture, where it was Wolves 1, Manchester United 4, and I will welcome Reem to the stage. How you doing, Reem, my guy?
Yo, good night, everybody.
Good
Good
night,
night,
good
good
night,
night.
brother.
Yeah,
Good
man.
night, good night, good night, good night. We just finished talking about Kobe Manu and what position or what stance the panel was taking when it comes to Kobe Manu. Before I get your input, Reem, I will go through these couple of comments, then I'll come back to you. Right. So, King, a really pretty good night to you, my guy. He's saying Kobe can't make that World Cup squad, and I guess it's too late, right?
It's
It's
cool.
too late for that right now. But I mean, Thomas Tuchel did say a couple of months ago, anything can happen, right? So, but that's like the political things to say. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then King Ruli is saying a good night to us again, right? So, yeah. So, Reem, if you're Kobe Manu, taking into consideration that this guy was scoring winners for us again in the FA Cup final, scoring winners versus Wolves,
Mm.
performing well versus Liverpool and Arsenal and all the big teams at the age of just 18 years old, made the England squad in his debut at Manchester United. And all of a sudden he is reduced to a bench role under Ruben Amorim. I remember when I texted you, I said this is similar to Ollie / Ten Hag with Donny van de Beek.
Donny
Similar with
van der Beek.
yeah, similar with Ten Hag and Ahmad
Ahmad.
Diallo. And now this is Ruben and Kobe Manu. We've seen this before, right? So if you're a Kobe Manu, what are you thinking and what would you do for the future?
Yeah, me and Amorim can't coexist. That is what it is. All right? No, I'm telling you, because
That's all.
because when you look at what's going on, the media piling pressure on Amorim where Kobe is concerned, and Amorim is very stubborn. So he will insist that he treat Kobe how he want to treat Kobe, right? And I don't know how much people noticed, but they had a little interaction between Amorim and Kobe when he was getting ready to come on today. And the way Amorim talked to him, you could tell that the relationship fractured, right? Because it's like Amorim was keeping a arm's length kind of distance, and he talked to Kobe. Kobe just shake his head, but it had no, like how he go respond to Mason Mount when he talking to him on the you come and put your hand around him and tap him on the. It had none of that. You could tell when a relationship fractured to the point where it's just they just tolerating each other until time to go separate ways. So I am saying as long as Ineos continue to stand with Amorim, Kobe had a go. And for me, that whole loan thing, it don't ever really augur good, because you telling the manager that you don't want to be part of the long-term plan because you're not willing to go through what they would consider the process and trust the process. Right? Kobe was game time, so Kobe want to move on. The manager telling you to stay here and be quiet. But because of how it is with Manchester United, and then he's an England international, the attention, going to be amplified. And the boy wants to play. The boy has been, quality for Manchester United, and then he reduced to 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, not playing at all. I think it done, and if I was Kobe, I was busting out. I tell you, as if I could have busted out, now I'm leaving.
Can I add something? And here's how I know Amarin and real shit, right? When it comes to Kobe. Amarin's statement is Kobe plays in Bruno's position, so that's the reason he's not getting playing time, right? Every time Mino comes on, does he come on for Bruno? No, he doesn't come on for Bruno. So what that means, he can play other positions, but yet still, Chad, I'm not trying to. I don't know. I tell all you. I tell all you flat out. I off the hammer in training. I just going with it. I don't want to hear much about Amarin again. I totally turned off by him by now. I just observing everything now. But how that man treating Kobe Mino, it just makes no sense to me. because it's a struggling team. How I could feel as a player who has been doing so well in development, and all of a sudden, one set of shittongs playing in front of me, the team struggling, and you want to tell me I playing the same position as the captain? That is the reason I'm not playing. Boy, Amarin is a buller, boy. I don't want to hear much about Amarin.
Oh God.
I really can't stand him, Dread. I really, really fed up with him now. And I reach a point in now, every press conference he talk, it has irritated me more because he makes no sense. None.
So
Manchester, the team.
chef, you need to start to do like me. That's what stop listening to the pressers. That's what
Don't,
she
I
give.
don't, I'll tell you something, Dan. You know, I don't listen to it. It's stinking Kareem.
Don't
Just
need
come and
all oh
tell me.
God.
It's Reem. Just come and tell me. Hey, you see this? I stop listening to him. So this get me
Yeah,
mad, you know.
yeah, you
It's
do like me
Kareem
and
that's
stop
come and
listening.
it's Kareem that's come and disturb my day to tell me this. You see what this man said? And I said, boy, dog, why do you, boy?
Don't do like
No,
me.
nah,
I
but
just
dog,
watching the game. I just
I'm
watching the game
real
right now.
a real Philip Amarin, and I'm totally unconvinced that Amarin is the right manager for Manchester United and the right manager to carry us forward. Because I'm not seeing men. Well, boy, men nickname me Negative Nancy right now, and I don't even care because to me, this team is going no way forward. This team has absolutely stalled and and like we don't have a forward gear again because the team is just not looking good. We win. Imagine we win a game 4-1 and I still irritated. This
Yeah,
is
it's
so much
true.
more than Kobe Mino. I fed up hammering now, but
It is. It is very true. A couple of true things that Chef said there. You know, because it's two people that got both of us irritated. Amarim and Reem definitely for sure. Um, but no, we can dissect today's
Phil,
game, right?
Phil, before you move on, I send you something. Upload it now.
You send me something.
Yeah.
Okay. I will I will download it and then I will upload it later. Um but yeah, let me get into today's game. Um it's funny because I saw the starting lineup. I'm in another group, right? And I posted starting lineup and I say, well, boy, no Kobe Manu starting. And then one person asked me, what has Kobe Manu done to start in this team? I said, what has Mason Mount do to start in this team? And then I was met with silence and what's not. Don't get me wrong, Mason Mount
No,
played
no. I
like a
think
man possessed today,
if I'm
right?
honest with you, Phil, I think Mason Mount did a lot to justify
I can't
starting,
fight. I have and
right? But
this is minus today. I am with Reem there. Mount deserves his playing time.
what I'm saying is Mount was given the opportunity to
That's right.
prove himself. That's the difference
That's
for me.
right.
And you're not wrong. And as I mentioned, Mount
Right?
played like a man possessed today, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he
But
did.
I
He saw about
mean,
four.
at some point in time,
Trio.
let's look at the first half, right? Um, First half, I didn't find we played well.
Then we was poor.
I found that our two best players in the first half were Luke Shaw. Well, our best three players in the first half. 'Cause even Mazrari was playing shit, boy. Jesus Christ. Um, our best three players, in my opinion, were Mount, Shaw, and Aiden Heaven. I think those were
Agreed.
our best three players. Cause Embuemo and Cunha had me cursing at work today, boy. Cursing bad,
Dan
bad,
Embuemo
bad, bad.
and Cunha. If I was a blind man, I would have swear was Sancho and Garnacho on the field, you know. Good, good. That was shit, boy. Jesus.
Yeah, but
I couldn't remember Cunha being that bad. I know
No, no, no,
Bremo.
no, no.
I know Bremo looked terrible first half. But I can't remember Cunha, being
Cunha was
too
just
bad.
a
but it's all about decision making, and there's some decisions that Konya
Mhm.
could have made the game simpler. But I think Konya was just like, okay, I'm coming back home. Let me show
Trying,
you the
yeah.
reason
He
why I
has
Nah,
should
something
but
to
go.
prove.
nah, but I was telling Kareem like the issue with this
Mhm.
team is, I've had an issue with other coaches. I feel like you need to coach these fellas, and and Kareem was saying it. Like, what is the pattern and what are we doing when we get to the byline? What are we doing there? I feel like it's too much freestyle, and I feel like
Yeah,
Mhm.
Ahmad is great. Ahmad is a really good player. I feel if you tell Ahmad, here's what I want you to do, he can do it 90% of the time. I feel like Ahmad never know what you want to do when you get the ball. I don't think the strikers or number 10s know what you're going to do. I think that's becoming a problem.
Yeah.
I, this is one of those games I figured if we had a pattern, or some kind of play, and we did like 4 times, we would have got through twice. This Wolves team is one of the worst teams I've ever like. I predicted us to lose this game. Last podcast. I mean, but I don't know Wolves. I mean, I was
damn.
taken aback by the Wolves. Like, normally United get me, vexed, but I
Yeah.
had
Yeah. Yeah.
stopped. I look at Wolves for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Where's team? This team's a Premier League team. I mean, I know
But
MLS. I know college teams that would beat Wolves. I mean, they were that bad. But you
listen,
saw, as skilled as we were, we had no recognition to what we were doing. Like, we didn't know what the next person was doing. And it's kind of like playing FIFA. We playing FIFA on semi-pro, where before you do something, you can look down at the controller and type. You can look down and take a time. Because the kind of time that man was getting to do stuff, and yet still we couldn't execute. Properly. I think the level we played against today was just poor, and it says a lot that we weren't able to punish them like we should have been 3-0 up at halftime. And after the first 10 minutes, I'm like, if we don't beat this team 3-0 by halftime, it's not a good performance. Wolves were that bad. But we just struggled to know which each player was doing. And it kind of, you wonder, like, what is the coaching as far as in those four positions, like what is the direction?
I I think that Embuemo and Cunha have drank the Kool-Aid, and now they are definitely performing like Manchester United players, if you know what I mean, right? We're not seeing the same Cunha from Wolves. And Buemo was a bit on and off in the last couple of games. Because not even the last couple, the man was not playing that well since probably the Everton game, right? And ever since then, the man has not been like showing how Embuemo is and how we know Embuemo, right? Let me get through a couple of comments before we continue to dissect this first half, right? Jody is on the YouTube side. Thanks for joining. He's saying, blessed night, everyone. Kobe clearly is not in Amarim's plans. My suggestions is that he should move on. But let me ask a question, Jody. Should he move on loan wise or move on from the club permanently? Let me know what you think, right? Eric Lewis, good night. He's saying, I know it's Wolves, but Money Mount looked good today. And we come into that, man. Mason Mount definitely put on a stellar performance today, right? We come into that, man. And then King Unruly P again is saying, we're playing like we programmed.
That's a bad program, man.
Yeah, it is like this program
that, that,
got
that,
bugs.
that program with that virus.
Yeah, virus, got some malware,
Then
whatever, right?
something and I'm sure all of you all noticed because Reem brought up wasn't last podcast I was on, it was the one before. All you realize that it's very because Amarin said it with his idiotic self. All you realize our centre backs are our playmakers. Or you watch it today game and realize all the attacking long balls was coming from the either the full, but not the fullbacks. This I was really coming from heaven, and if heaven wasn't there, would have probably been Maguire or Dillett. Then our midfield is not the ones playmaking and don't be playing Wolves. We playing at Latrin side. And our centre backs had to be the playmakers. I watch that and say, and all I hear is Kareem saying, this Dotish Amarin talk about how our centre backs is our playmaker. Dan, it was so apparent today. Even with a change of personnel in the back, it's the same thing.
You muted. You muted, Phil.
Sorry. I was saying, well, center backs as playmakers, that means the midfield can't be doing their job well, chef. So, let me get through a few more comments that just came in. And Jody is responding to me saying that decision. I know it's up to him, Jody, but I want to know what you think. I want to get you involved, Jody. What do you think? If you are Kobe Manu, you train Kobe Manu, what you doing? You moving on from Manchester United on loan, or are you moving on from Manchester United permanently? I want you decision, Jody, not Kobe Manu. I know Kobe Manu number. I know you on the podcast, right? Next person in the comments. Kaden Niles from the YouTube site again. Good night, fellas, and good night to you as well. Ain't long in for a long time, but hope all is well. Yeah, man. All is well.
Kaden, man. It's been a while.
It don't matter if Manchester United win, lose, or draw. I will always be good. Christmas around the corner. Let me say that. Anyway, where are we going now? Let me get. We acknowledge the first half was a shit show. We had a scrappy first goal. Oh my god. That had to be one of the scrappiest first goals.
Manchester nearly scored that goal, you know.
Yeah. Because that was the perfect win from Casemiro.
Goal, you know.
Perfect win from Casemiro. And Cunha lay off the ball too short. Bruno banana peel. And Bruno just happened to shield off the defender. And it went under Sam Johnson. And he meant celebrating like
a rocket. No, but if I could say something, right? I thought Wolves show today why they last and they will get relegated.
For sure.
Because I was seeing the amount of space we had, the amount of time them fellas had on the ball.
Oh
and
my
God. I was like, I don't know Wolves coach name, but I was like, this man do your homework. You want to beat United? To beat United, all you do is sit down in a low block. And this is what I was expecting from Wolves today, because we have a lot of athletic players on the team, the runners, and Ross Strand Larson is a good player to hold up the ball and thing. So I think Wolves go come and try to frustrate Man United. You understand? I don't know, this man didn't do his homework, and this man playing football wide. I seen Casemiro getting the ball in yards of space. He played for Mbumo. Nobody following Mbumo, nobody tracking Mbumo. You understand?
Ahmad too. You see space Ahmad today run at players one-on-one.
Yeah.
Imagine you had Ahmad run at players one-on-one for the entire game.
That's the first time in a long while I see Ahmad getting 1v1 consistently with Ahmad.
So
Ahmad has been getting 2 and 3 men.
So
besides Cunha, how much players Wolves lose?
Good question.
Ait Nouri,
Pedro Neto.
This is from last season, right?
No, Pedro Neto leave
Pedro Neto leave season before.
Yeah,
so
season before.
Ait Nouri, Cunha, and
Semedo went.
Semenyo went. Semedo and Kilman went to
Kilman left before.
Max Kilman and Nelson Semedo, yeah.
Because here's what I'm saying, I'm watching Wolves today. Yeah, we know all to the bottom of the league. But then Wolves, even though they struggle a couple of seasons, Wolves will still give you a battle.
Yep.
But I'm watching Wolves today, and I was like, but this side is just latching juice.
Sarabia, I think the Spaniard, he as well.
Yeah, he left too. No, but the
Yeah.
point I'm making, right, is if you in relegation, right, and this is how we've seen other teams who in the relegation zone play the game. You always want to show up your back. You don't want to lose. You're trying your best not to lose. And
Yeah,
so I was really surprised with the amount of space and
yeah,
time our attackers had on the ball, and our lack of clinicality in front of goal, or actually trying to, because I don't think in that period, in that first, let's say 20-25 minutes when we won top, we were pressed. I don't think we really troubled Sam Johnstone to the point where we could have say, the Wolves defense was under pressure, and for me that shocking. It's scary because we play a team that given us so much space, so much respect. The team void of confidence. They're giving us the ball. They're giving us space. They're saying, "Hey, have a feast," and we there confused, tripping over the ball, all kind of nonsense, and we leave first half 1-1. When Wolves realize, but wait now, these fellas ain't good enough. I didn't follow notice that in the Wolves and say, but wait now, we play rubbish. We give them fellas space, and them fellas capitalize, and them score a kind of bubbly goal. And Wolves decided to start to play football and had us spin back in the first half. And we were resorting to long balls that they were just cutting off right through. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how they came and scored. And you were seeing they were looking at the transitions. They were playing the ball through the lines. They were playing the ball diagonals. And you were seeing a team as bad as Wolves are. I was seeing where these fellas are training. I was seeing repetition in their attacks. When they get back, they're recycling it and they're doing the same thing over and over again. And that's what I was seeing. So half time, going into that half, Wolves will be pinching themselves and saying, but wait now, how come, how, them really that bad, boy? And I
Or you
mean,
mean, or you mean United players that I say, but wait now. Did you team at the bottom of the table with 2 points, right? Them fellas, so yeah, that's what I said. Be- Because you couldn't believe that halftime you going in 1-1 with Wolves for the last 10 to 15 minutes. I saw possession stats was about 31, 69 or whatever. You know
bro.
what I'm saying?
I am telling you, for the rest of the season, every team I see Wolves playing, I put in fantasy football, I put in 3 players, 3 attackers. Any team I see them playing, I'm taking 3 attackers from that team and put in my fantasy team. Wolves is too much shit though.
but
Jesus.
but but, but even on that, sorry, Simeon, another damning thing is that Man United is a team that will concede a goal against this Wolves team who ain't scored since
Hmm,
when?
hmm.
But no, like I was at work. I was trying to, I was taking a peek at the game, and like my stream was a little bit behind. So I'm watching the game, and I'm like Wolves attacking, and they control bad. They carry control the ball. So we get the ball about to counter attack, and I realize we control bad too. It's like they lose the ball, we lose the ball,
Yeah.
and I think it to myself, I'm like, why can't we control this game? I mean, it's like almost halftime. Why this Wolves team is one of the worst I've ever seen. Why
Yeah.
can't nobody put their foot on the damn ball and control it? And I got a little bing on top of my phone, 1-1, and I'm like, don't tell me because the next play, 3 plays later, because we can get the ball and hold the ball and move the ball up, they score. I'm like, it's the simple things like keep possession, like close out a half, close out a game. If you can't do that against Wolves, if you can't move the ball out of your out of your area against Wolves, I mean, what hope? I mean, why we still have this problem? I don't understand. And I always go back to the midfield, the ability. We have Cunha there, and he's supposed to be good, but like between Casemiro and between Bruno to get the ball with your back, just to carry the ball and get out, out to your feet and get the attack going. I know we have nobody that's perfect for that, but Xerxes, he's someone that's good at doing that. But I don't know. We talk about players not knowing, what each other doing. But it's hard to know when every game you're changing, players. Your top three always changing. How is Xerxes supposed to, get comfortable with playing with Cunha or I mean they're gonna leave, but how are you gonna get consistency going when you are in and out of a team like that? So I just feel like, this team there's so many things with this team to put your hand on. I'm just glad we found, you know, a Wolves team in existence that played that bad. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen a Premier League team play so bad.
let me let me get through some of these comments. I love the discussion. Um, Kid Niles is saying, "Oh, say a comment," and then Jody is saying, "Moving on up to the east side like the Jeffersons." Right? Interesting comment. Um, so we established that it was a scrappy goal. We played shit in the first half. I might be going on to the second half right now, but I think the one player that was a bit consistent in both halves in our midfield was Mason Mount, and I can make a controversial statement here right now. I think Mason Mount has the potential to be a better midfielder than Bruno.
What
I
controversial about that?
I are very very cautious to make those kind of claims after we play Wolves. I
No,
think
here's the thing, right? If you do the simple stuff versus the lower teams, right? I'll be impressed with that because I don't want you to do the simple stuff and the fancy stuff only against the big teams, right? But we can save that statement for a different time, right? I was on my way home and I had Mason Mount's pass on repeat to Cunha. I mean to
Yeah,
Mbamo, and where Cunha messed it up.
yeah.
I had that pass on repeat. It just
Now that beautifully
reminded me of like
weighted
a
pass.
parallel Paul Scholes pass, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I had that on repeat for I watched that a good 15 times. It was just so the play was just so majestic and like Cunha just had to mess it up. Had to mess anyway. Let me get back to the positives here where Mason Mount was instrumental throughout not only the first half, but also the second half as well, too, right? Took his goal well, but was also like instrumental in building up play and what's not.
Hmm.
And lo and behold, I thought that Wolves had the momentum since they were the last team to score before the first half ended. And lo and behold, we just blew Wolves away in the second half. I want you guys to factor in your answer with regards to a couple of things because I'm gonna play a clip that Reem sent me after you guys' comments. Let's take into consideration a couple of things. We can kind of predict who Amorim is going to sub off and on, and then also, was this a different Manchester United in the second half, or were Wolves just that bad, that shit? Nico, I can start with you. 'Cause I haven't heard you in a while.
Yeah, I think Wolves was that bad, honestly. But I must say, as we just always say on this pod, you saw the beat were in front of you, right? And second half we did that. But this Wolves team, as Simeon was saying, I haven't seen a Wolves team in the Premier League for a long time, and I think Wolves was that bad. Um, and I kind of go back to the first half, when a game we just always shoot ourselves in the foot. Dalo had a chance early in the game. He should have taken, right?
Damn. What more he wanted?
Right? Cunha had a chance again. He slipped. I don't know what kind of slip, right? Um, and again, we go back to how easy. And I think we took the first half for granted by how easy it was. So when we went in second half 1-1, right, and saw that Amarin would have come out earlier before the team. So I guess he would have said what he had to say. Fire up the team, however. I hope that is what happened. and the team came out a little more intentional. And I think just with being a little more intentional, just a little more focus, knowing that all right, in the first half it was so easy, we were taking the seat for granted, but you know what, this team could embarrass us. I think the players took it upon themselves to step up. So it wasn't based on as readers want to see the patterns, we want to see the link up, we want to see the creativity. I think the team took it upon themselves. Hey, we're taking the embarrassment today, right? And Wolves are so bad that then we end up winning the game. But again, it was based on how bad Wolves was today.
You know
Chef.
what?
Oh, sorry, Sammy.
No,
Yeah.
you know, I, I don't know if it's overreacting, but it scared me. It kind of worried me a little bit that there were no subs at halftime.
Yeah,
I just feel like after all we've been through, all the past games of playing around, losing against a 10-man Everton, all the games where he played, well, and we didn't score. I just feel like the coach would have sent a message to the team, like, pull somebody off. But
put
apparently there's
somebody.
apparently there's nobody on the bench he likes. So I just want to put it out there.
Yeah.
Before I come to you, Chef, let me play this here, and you tell me what you guys make of it. I can play it one more time. If you don't see what's going on, it's Kobe Manu, I think, stripping down at Amorim, giving him some sort of instructions, but pay attention to the mannerisms and what's not. It's almost like you want play. Here's your chance to play now. Do your thing. I walk away. Chef, what are you thinking about that clip there?
I don't think is that they should ask me too much questions while I drinking.
Especially when talking about Amarin, but I talk about somebody
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
But, hey, Chef, you're obscene on the pod.
Well, I asking nobody else but Chef. So, Chef, the floor is yours, my guy.
John, that man is a real MC. I'll PG myself. I'm gonna take a drink just.
Please and thank you.
I'll PG myself. But that man is a real MC, though. Serious stuff. I losing all respect for Amarin, because even from that clip, it's exactly what you say. The crowd say, everybody's saying, "Get your sweat." Again, your sweat. Go and do something. And dog, all you see the reception the man get when he went on. So I feel, and we does often talk that fans just get trained up by media and all that, tralala. But dog, all of we watching, I was telling my wife what it is. All you could imagine, we here on the panel live in England and going to Manchester games, dog, I'd get arrested by now, Because to spend my money to be going them games to watch that level of Dan,
I'll go wash.
Amarin wicked, dog. Amarin wicked. I lying to tell you. And the next brethren of mine, to we have for the last couple of days in the football group chat, having a back and forth because he's telling me if you can't please everybody and that's just how it does go. And I said, bro, I hear you, but Horse, if a team is not playing well and you have a talent like that guy, won't you try to give him some kind of playing time to help improve the squad and improve his playing thing? Exactly what you say, Reem. Horse, Mason Mount wasn't playing, so at the start of the season, it's playing time Mount gets to basically put himself into form now. Mount last couple of games, you've seen his steady improvement because why? He's been, even if he's not starting, Mount has been getting playing time.
Let me ask you one more question before I pass on this question to the other panel, Chef. You're 3-1 up. Tell me why you're bringing on defenders.
Dog, oh my God! Oh Jesus Christ, dog! I know. So hear me now. I was not about to bring it up, but I say let me wait till we segue into something else. So that's the only thing I came to ask all you tonight. In all your years of either playing football or watching football, have you ever seen a manager, a coach, make substitutions in defense like that? Every game?
No, but them is the playmakers, right? On your team, right?
So every single game, whether we chase any game or we in the lead, this man subs the centre backs or the full backs, every to the point the commentator was saying today, Manchester United manager is so predictable.
Yep.
Boss, who does that, Jared? Who does that?
I got.
Boy, he's a numbskull, boy.
I have a feeling that maybe Reem might disagree with you. So let me hear Reem.
Yeah, nah, it's nothing Chef said that I disagree with. Nothing. You understand? Nothing. Because his substitutions are predictable. You understand? You know a lot of the players that he fancy. Once they're not on the field, they're coming on. Right? If Dalot doesn't start, Dalot coming on. If Martinez doesn't start, Martinez coming on. You have to give Euro minutes. You understand? So at some point, Euro will come on. I mean, I was very pleased to see that he actually trusted Heaven again today. Right? And I'm telling myself, I say, if you know, most times managers don't like to mess with the defensive line because you need that consistency. You need that, right? So once you could find a back three, primarily the three, that's working well, that have that connection and that partnership, that kind of understanding, then you tend to not want to change that and tamper with it too much, right? But every single game, granted, I could understand the Martinez one because he is an important player as far as
you play him into form.
So you want to reintegrate him into the team into minutes because he's been out for a while. So I could understand that one. But you know, Amarim, at some point Dogu will come on. You know at some point Euro will come on. You just know that he's gonna make that defensive substitution.
Every game.
That man make what 3 defensive substitutions today, you know?
Before he make an attacking substitution.
Before he make an attacking Euro, Martinez and Dogu. And he make 2 attacking substitutions.
And here's the difference. Here's the difference with managers who have intent and managers who just trying to survive a game, eh? We up 3-1. Then you know who's the substitutions? Boy, bring on Lacey and bring on Meno, dog. That's the substitutions. Lacey, Meno, Xerxes. That's the substitutions. I understand all this thing about giving Martinez. Cool. I ain't gonna find the Martinez. But outside of Martinez, them rest of defenders didn't have to come on in this game, dog. This was a game to give the youth man, give the new Manchester United headliner some playing time because it's shitty Wolves. Let me feel a little bit.
Let me add something to that, right, Chef? And it's something me and JP was talking about. Now, earlier we losing Mazwari, Amar, and Mbumo. Chances are they may or may not play next week, which is the last game until for about a month.
Right.
You don't think today, considering the opponent and the scoreline, would have been a good opportunity
You're
to
supposed to be
kind of
blooded men.
bring them in. You understand? I take off. If it's 3 players you had to take off today, was Maz, Ahmad, and Mbumo. Let the team start to
Yes.
play without them. You understand?
Yes.
Get them that opportunity to work things out in a real game situation where we don't have to depend on those 3 players.
Wait.
You understand?
Maz going too.
Yes, Mazwari, Ahmad, and Mbumo.
But my mind's so stuck on this Ahmad and Mbemo. I forget Maz going too, you know.
So it have me here wondering, how forward thinking Amorim really seeing this thing, or whether he just thinking for now.
And you notice he has not been making the substitution, because everybody know an African Nations Cup was coming, and he has not been bringing the substitutions on that right side to try and start getting men into play.
At least let me did see in the front line, let me say after the 70th minute, it was 4-1. Giwi, Xerxes, Cunha, and Mount. Let me see how that tree looking. Or even if you want to protect Mount because of the overload and his injury history, let me see Xerxes, Cunha, and Shea. And we want to see how these players could perform in an actual game situation, because we know we got how to use them.
But I take it Kobe Mino as a 10 there and all. Try something. Let me see something now, boy. We know what you're gonna get from Ahmad. We know what we're gonna get from Big Batty Barry. We know what we're gonna get from Maz. Try something. Let me see now, man. Because so you waiting till you have a choice again to just throw men.
Is that what you're doing?
And you know who we're gonna probably see there? Dallo. Could you put Dallo on that right side? He ain't going to play Kobe.
Nope.
He probably will put Cunha on that side.
It could be Cunha, Mount, and either Xerxes.
So we're trying to tell me Mount going and play wing back, right wing back.
No, he will play Dallo and Dorgo as the 2
Yeah,
wing back.
Dallo.
But the front 3 until Sesko come back could be Mount, Cunha, and Xerxes. And when Sesko come back, it could be Mount, Cunha, and Sesko.
Sesko even started training yet?
He running on grass.
Okay.
Before I get to Simeon, let me go through some comments here. Jody is saying, I ain't saying anything about that clip because a picture tells 1,000 words.
Well said.
But the thing about it, we are context, Jody. We are context.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you watch that video, you can see
Plenty
tension.
context.
I see intention. I am seeing a lot of tension in that video.
Plenty context.
If you look at how Amorim just deal with all the other players that he's going to bring on, it'll be hand around the shoulder, it'll be closer, it'll be a lot more friendly in nature.
We'll find some videos and pictures, Jody, for the next podcast, and we'll show you the difference in that clip versus like what Reem is talking about, right? So
yeah, it's so obvious though. It's so obvious.
Eric Lewis is saying he is the worst manager since Fergie.
That's
statistically, yes.
Statistically, yes. But then, when men has been telling me, boy, the missing Ole football, and I can't even fight down men when they tell me that, because Amarin football so unconvincing. It ain't even funny, you know.
And it's boring as well, too.
So boring is not the word. So I watching. Who is the worst teams in the league right now? Wolves,
Brentford.
Not Brentford. No. You mean
not Brentford. Bournemouth. Bournemouth reached down here now.
No. Not Bournemouth. This team.
Right. Not Brighton.
The league.
Burnley.
Right, Burnley. Yeah.
And who Leeds?
Leeds in looking bad, Leeds looking good against Chelsea and Liverpool, you know.
So here's the point I want to make, eh? Dan, you're watching these lower, let me say the lower 6 to 7 teams play though. And even though them team is garbage, so you're still gonna get some kind of thinking with the football though. The teams and them still have a kind of way to just play. Because I watch Burnley. Burnley had to be one of the most unlucky teams that have, though. Because Burnley football really is not dog shit, though. Burnley actually ain't bad, but they don't have finish, they don't have killers up front. But when you watch them, and then you watch Manchester United, I telling my boy and them today, I hate when Manchester play on a Monday, because after I watch all good football whole weekend, I had to come and watch a shit on a Monday to spoil my week.
Boy, your day could get worse, boy, because we play Bournemouth next week, Monday. So
yes, boy, they're playing the non-European playing team every Monday. Boy, them had to play on Saturday, boy. Play them early, 7 o'clock Saturday morning.
Simeon, what are you thinking about that Kobe Manu clip? And also, why maybe your opinion to Chef and Rim could be different, but do you think Amram bringing on defenders when we're 3-1 up? Do you think that's the right decision to make?
Let me start with that one first. I mean, you can make an argument that nah, never mind, no argument.
Thank you, Simeon. Thank you, Simeon.
You ain't changing your formation. You're just bringing on two different defenders. I mean, for what? I mean, you can rotate them, but you can't rotate and you can't change. Your midfield could never change. It just I don't. It's somebody say program, and I'll see what I mean. It's programmed, change.
It's programmed.
And that's what we don't. I mean, we want a coach that can watch the game and analyze the game and make changes in the game for what's going on.
Yeah.
And we ain't get that. And I think every time we get a new coach, with Ten Hag, now with Amarim, you hope to get that thinking coach that could see a game and make adjustments mid-game. But every game you realize that we don't have that. We have a coach that literally loves his system, and is so stubborn he won't change anything. And it's at first it was fine, but now it's getting to a point where it's even, as fans, it's just annoying as hell because you're seeing that the system is worth more than players, worth more than wins, worth more than anything else. I look at we go to Manu. I was kind of worried when Amarin came. What was Manu's role was going to be. Kind of player he is, and but the more and more I watch, I don't know what Amarim's looking for. I don't think he's looking for a regular midfielder. His style of football right now is hard to define, especially in midfield. He tried to play Kobe up front a little bit here and there, but I just feel like, there's some kind of, big gap as to what he wants and what Kobe, can give. And looking at Kobe, Kobe, especially that video, Kobe is not the kind of disrespectful young fella. He ain't, really Ganacho. He ain't some of these fellas who have that kind of emotion. But you can tell that a kind of cool. I mean, it's Amarim kind of cool, but Kobe have a kind of coolness to him too. Like the respect is gone. You feel like the respect for a coach. It takes. I mean, I don't know. Normally, it's a lot for you to not respect your coach, especially coach of Manchester United, especially someone who loves this club. It takes a lot for you to lose that kind of respect to where he will be talking to you and you just to the point where I just gonna listen to you. I ain't gonna react because if I react, it might show, something worse. So it's definitely something, you know, obviously wrong, but respect is obviously gone from that relationship. And I think Kobe look at Amram and don't think he know what he's doing. You know, whether it's because he picking Bruno ahead of him, but you know, Kobe has confidence in his game, and when you believe in yourself that much,
Yeah.
to have a coach that, you know, doesn't even, how the, coaches will give you a little, pep talk or a little mama guy here and there to keep you. I don't feel like any of that is there with them. I feel like Kobe realizes, hey, this fella, doesn't know what I can bring to this team, and for some reason he's keeping me here for who knows what. So, I mean, Kobe, we saw it in the last game. I don't know if it was what game was it? He came on in the 90th minute. You saw it there too.
Yeah.
It's done. It's this. I don't know how vocal he will be. I know he's that kind of person, but he needs to find another club, to play for, at least temporary.
According to Reed, might even feel it's temporary now, as long as
Nah, but
Everton win.
Amrim might be. I mean, that's the thing. That's why it's a temporary, but
Um, all you really think Amarin should have his job at the end of the season if we finished like about ninth with this
Yeah,
playing the same way we playing right now?
I
Would you all
think I
give him
think
a next season?
I think if he doesn't qualify for Europe,
Uh,
he had a bus out. It had to be Europe or bus. Because the when you look at
Europe
the
meaning Europe meaning what? Champions League, Europa Conference.
I
nah,
said
just
the
the top
Europa.
two. Just top two.
Okay,
Champions or
good.
Euro.
Not Champions League. If we miss out the Champions League, I'm fine with that. We're not ready for Champions
No,
League
I
yet.
was saying either or, but just not that conference league thing. We ain't going through that.
Yeah.
Right? But the point is, I think we give this man 200 million words in attackers, right? You wanted Bruno, you have your defenders. We look at how the league is right now. It's very competitive. Some would say, you
Very.
win one, you could end up in fourth. You lose, you end up in 15th, right?
Mhm.
So I think nobody running away with anything. So it's close enough for us to finish in a European spot for either Champions League or Europa League. And if we don't do it, because you look at it, the West Ham game, if we win that game, we'll be in top four, right?
Yeah.
The 2 games before, if we beat Everton, we'd have been in top four. You know what I'm saying? So it is very achievable for this team, the way how the league going right now. You understand? You go and you win 3 games on the bounce and you might win the league. you know? So no, but the point I'm making is that anything below Europa League, unacceptable, and he had to loss he walk.
Let me go through some of these comments and then let me look to wrap up the pod. Jody is saying the things I want to say, I will wait till the end of the season.
Jody love to play it safe, boy. You're God by Jody, boy. So we had to say now, boy.
Yeah, there's a safe space, boy, a therapy session. Anyway, all right, Lewis, he said, don't forget today, all of a sudden he can look at penalties. I don't get the comment.
Nah, Rem, normally he turn away when the game closed. He turn away.
Oh,
Oh. Okay.
Jody is saying, Chef, that's the substitution you and would like to see. Unfortunately, you are not the manager, Chef. That's what
Agree.
Jody's saying. And Lewis is saying, good night, gentlemen. I am under the impression that he's so paranoid about losing that once Amarin gets a lead, he wants to park the bus a la Mourinho.
Yeah, but the same formation. He ain't bringing on any he ain't going back to a back four, really, back. He ain't really parking the bus. He just have a different two defenders back there in the same formation. But let me say that this one about Manu. About Manu. I see this in American football. They say, once you get in a position like this with a player that the fans love, the manager is in trouble once you start playing that player. Because
once he doesn't start playing him, or once he start playing him?
Once you start playing him, because well, let me put it this way: either one, you don't play him and you lose. When you start losing and you get fired, and two, you play him and he looks so good, people start questioning why you didn't play him.
Yeah.
So either way, either those two ways, he needs to pay attention. I think Amarim, and I think the it's funny that Menu have so much people behind him, not because he's I mean,
If I could say something, right? If I could say something, right? So the what I realized about the match going fans, they will cheer for anybody once the given the heart and soul for the badge, right? Then used to cheer on Hoyland, right?
Yeah.
Because he pants dirty when the game done, right? A bag of rubbish.
Man's got 2 goals, boy. Man's got 2 goals. Don't look at the goals, but he got 2 goals last weekend.
Right.
Don't look at the goals now.
The point I'm making is this: I have seen, Amorim convince the fan base that Kobe is not good enough.
Nah.
When I listen to a lot of different podcasts and I listen to you see the views of fans and fan channels and them kind of thing, right?
All goals, Reen, don't forget.
Yeah, but all right, I'll come to that. But when you listen to these fans talk, Mano will come on in 5 minutes and they'll say Mano didn't play good. And that is why he's not starting. That is why the manager don't play him. When the game already turned on the head, everybody playing bad. But Kobe's supposed to come on and, be through the whole team and score from half field.
A la peanut butter sandwiches.
You understand what I'm saying? So this is the thing. I have seen a large cross-section of the fan base after how Amorim been dealing with him, saying Kobe not good enough and Kobe have to earn his thing. And when Kobe come on, that is why Amorim not playing him. And your manager has and watch me further. The manager has convinced the entire fan base. Well, not the entire, but a large portion of the fan base that the squad is not good enough. That he need X player, Y player before we could actually see his formation in the system, in its full fruition. So I am telling you, this thing big. I mean, yes, they're supporting Kobe in the stadium, but a lot of them ain't go back there. I let if you leave it.
I really feel Amarin still in that honeymoon phase that he getting a blight.
It's not a blight. It's just for me. You get the impression that Ineos want to stick with him, and that they're willing to back the manager on some real serious fronts, and Kobe might just be one of them. And
but
that's real disappointing.
Even if we use Arsenal with Arteta,
it's different. But people just use it, but it's different. I find.
Dan, even under Arteta early days, Arsenal have a way of playing football, Arteta didn't come and try to change that, You know what Arteta come and try to change? What he did, he changed the personnel.
The troublemaker.
He pull out the men who was like, listen, I want this style of football the Arsenal way, but all you can't give me that heart and soul, right out. He get rid of Ozil, he get rid of Aubameyang.
Them fellows was more troublemakers than didn't fit the style of player. Them fellows was more troublemakers, so you need it. And that's the same thing Amorim get to do. Garnacho, Rashford, you get to Sancho, you get to Anthony, you get to get rid of them. Because they, especially Garnacho, they were the troublemakers. But in terms of players,
if you get rid of men, if you're getting rid of men, you have to show that okay, all your backing men to get rid of men, and all you also backing men to get the kind of players that I want. And I now, in turn, going to show all you that with all you giving me the tools to improve, to improve, to improve.
Yeah.
And dog, I don't know about all, I just not seeing this team improving at all, at all, at all, dog.
And this is the point
And
I'm making, right? Because the manager convinced majority of the fan base that the team is not good enough to improve,
that
right?
shit.
It's rubbish. Because I'll tell you something, even when Arteta was going, and even Klopp, because people love to say Arteta and Klopp, even when those two managers were, in the early stages trying to, revamp the team, wherever, these teams, even though they may not have been getting the results consistently, they were winning, they were playing well,
Titles, but I was
right?
beating people.
And they were not losing as bad as we were losing. I mean, Liverpool, even in that time, they would have had back-to-back wins. They would have had 3 or 4 back-to-back wins. Then they would have lost one. The teams were inconsistent because they were not there yet. But they were never as bad as we are right now in terms of playing style and results. And they did not have all their players. So for me, this whole thing about the players not good enough, yes, it might have one or two fellas who is tutu like Dogu, right? But that still doesn't mean that an entire team had to play and be as inconsistent as they are and poor performing because Dogu are good.
Fair enough. Let me get through these comments and then we could get some predictions on the Monday night game versus Bournemouth at home. Because after all, we have a great home record, right? Let me see here now. Said that already. When Lewis is saying, how did Manu end up being in the doghouse after being the darling of the team? We're still trying to figure that out right now, my buddy.
No, the bigger darling is Bruno. That's why.
Darren is saying, free Manu. Jody is saying, thank you, Simeon. On the Kobe clip, that's my sentiment, hence what I said. And Darren is saying, Amram is just stubborn. I would hate he sell Manu and then get fired. Boy, don't say that, boy, because that might happen here. Anyway, another Monday night game. Next week, Monday, at Old Trafford. We playing Bournemouth. How you guys feeling? And give me a score prediction. I can start with you, Simeon, first. How you feeling? Give me a score prediction.
Bournemouth 3, United 1.
Bournemouth 3, United 1. Boy, I won't doubt you. I would not put that past our United, right? Chef, Bournemouth against Man United versus Bournemouth at Old Trafford.
I don't see Manchester beating Bournemouth. So 2-1.
2-1 to Bournemouth. Fair enough. Reem, some positivity or
Where that game playing? Old Trafford or
at Old Trafford, man. Great record at Old Trafford, my guy. Great record.
You see, sometimes it's hard to call because this team's so hot and cold. You don't know, boy. Because I remember the Brighton game at Old Trafford. I predicted a loss, and then fellas come out and perform. I say we go draw 1-0.
Yeah, I was actually going for that. I was saying 1-1 or 2-2. Well, Manchester United got a victory when other teams didn't this weekend, and I actually thought we were going to bottle it for some reason again, right? We had the chance to do well versus Everton. We had the chance to do well versus West Ham, and we bottled it, and lo and behold, the team showed up today in the second half, I should say. So, yeah, we shall be here next week, Monday. Reem, Simeon, Chef. Thank you. And I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, man.